Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. A potentially new landmark case just came down in the 3rd District Court of Appeals on a federal level that will affect the Second Amendment. If you are affected by what is a non-violent OUI or DUI and have lost your Second Amendment, you're going to want to see this. So last week, a federal judge determined that having a non-violent OUI in your arrest history is not grounds to lose your constitutionally guaranteed right forever. Now, that judge's name is Chief Judge Christopher Connor, and he's from the U.S. District Court in the District of Pennsylvania. And he ruled that the case was Halloway, Halloway. And in Halloway's case, he had a second misdemeanor OUI that happened in 2005, I believe. And he went for his permit in Pennsylvania 10 years later, and he was denied his Second Amendment rights because of this OUI. Now, a few states have tweaked with the OUI laws where the possible punishment is more than 2 years. So here in Massachusetts, they did the same thing, and it's actually 2 years and 6 months is the possible sentence. Nobody ever does it. But just because the possibility of it going for more than 2 years, that is enough to make you a federally prohibited person when it comes to purchasing firearms under the federal laws. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's just the way it is. Now, in Halloway's case, he was convicted of this second misdemeanor OUI and was sentenced to 90 days, and his 90 days was only work release. But because his second offense carried a penalty of up to 5 years, he's a federally prohibited person. And again, he only found out about him being a prohibited person in 2016 when he went to go get his permit. He then filed a lawsuit claiming that prohibition was unconstitutional in his case because his crimes did not amount to a lifetime ban justification in his eyes, in many of our eyes. Now, Judge Connor wrote in his ruling, and I'll read this for accuracy, the government has not demonstrated a substantial fit between Halloway's continued disarmament and the important government interest in preventing armed mayhem, and also that the defendant's evidence fails to account for the key characteristics of Halloway and similarly situated persons. They have presented no evidence indicating that individuals like Halloway, after over a decade of virtuous, non-criminal behavior, remain so potentially irresponsible that they should be prohibited from owning a firearm. Basically, they're saying he's been a good dude, he's been a good doobie for 10 years, tell me why he should not have his Second Amendment right. Bravo, Your Honor. Like I've been saying in a couple videos, the tide is turning right now. This is good news. Now, this case is precedent, however, only for the 3rd Circuit. And that circuit is made up of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and the Virgin Islands. Now, however, if you are someone that has a similar situation, a misdemeanor OUI, and you no longer have the ability to exercise your Second Amendment rights because you're a federally prohibited person, you can now launch a suit citing this 3rd District decision, this 3rd Circuit District Court's decision, and that can be used in as guidance in your case. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to affect everybody right now in all 50 states. Like I said, each district, each circuit is going to have to file a lawsuit claiming this case right here, using this as their defense, and it will start to trickle across the country. Hopefully, the U.S. Supreme Court will take this up. They tried last year in 2017, and that court chose not to hear this case, but it has been overturned in the 3rd Circuit. So good news if you're in that circuit and you have an OUI that's stopping you from getting your permit in whatever state you are or buying firearms, you are good to go now with this case. Just a quick update. I thought this was pretty important news. However, small scale, nobody's really talking about it. You know, the media doesn't want anybody to know about this. But this is a big win. All right? The laws in a lot of states have been tweaked where people with OUIs or any misdemeanor that lasts 2 years and a day, basically, you are now a prohibited person. And this was a way at backdoor gun control. There's no doubts about it. But now people are seeing through the smoke. We have a judge who did the right thing. It's now precedent in one of the U.S. circuits, and hopefully each one will follow as soon as somebody sues. So I appreciate your time. Please pass this along, especially if you know somebody who is affected by this, regardless of where they are in the nation. They probably want to hear this to help reinstitute their constitutionally guaranteed right. Until we see each other again, this is JR from Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.